Hey guys, welcome to SimAviator, and today I'm going to show you how to use Simbrief to create your flight plans. For those of you guys who do not know what Simbrief is, it is a tool that you can use to create your flight plans for any of your flight simulators, be it X-Plane, P3D, MSFS, or any of them where you can actually put waypoints for your flights. So let's go ahead and create a flight plan then. Before that, you need to go ahead and register. Create an account basically with Simbrief. You can go register now and put the required information in these boxes and you should be good to go. After that, you can always go ahead and log in. So once you're on this screen, you have different options like create flight, load your previous flights, edit them or view them, or you also have the options to see your briefing, make your custom fleet. You can view or modify them, and pretty much your account. So to create a new flight plan, all you gotta do is click create a new flight. It'll bring up this seemingly confusing screen, but don't worry, I got you, and let's get started with it. So first thing you can see here is the flight info. So you have to put your airline, flight number, departure, arrival, and things like that. So before you do that, you have to see here what you want. Do you want the kilograms or pounds? Do you want to have contingency fuel? Do you have like something that is set? I usually keep them on auto. It works out for most of the flights, and just keep it as it is. It should be good to go. So let's simulate a flight from New York to Los Angeles here. So let's assume we're a Delta. So the ICAO for the airline is DAL, and flight number. So if you ever get confused how many characters you need, it actually shows you the number of Z's or the numbers, things like that. So in this case you need 3, which is DAL, which is the ICAO for Delta. Now for flight number, you can just pick any flight number, or you can choose to do it from a real world flight. So let's do a 523 on this one. For departures and arrival airports, you need to know the ICAO. So just in case, if you do not know the ICAO of a specific airport, you can just go ahead and do this. So say for example, you don't know what New York is, so you go New York International Airport ICAO, and then as you can see, ICAO is KJFK. So as good as that, you can pretty much find any airport just like that. So you put it KJFK. Arrival would be LAX, which is KLAX, and then it will give you its alternate routing here, and that's for Ontario. And you can always reverse engineer that and type in KONT in the Google, and it will tell you what airport that is. Anyway, moving on to the next is aircraft type. So when you open this up, you won't see these. Your list will actually start from here. These are my custom aircrafts, and I will be making a video on that at a later stage. But you'll have most of the aircrafts here. You got the A300 and all the way to like the ATRs, the Boeings, the King Air Citations, and a bunch of them. So you don't have to worry about it. Most of the aircraft would be included in this list. So let's assume we're taking the Boeing 737-800 for this flight. So we're gonna select B738, which is 737-800. Now coming on to the next part, which is advanced aircraft options. I usually keep them as is. You can choose to have a cost index. Cruise profile comes in various ways, but this one I just use cost index, and then you can choose any number that you want, or if you're in a virtual airline, they ask you to use a certain cost index. But let's do 20 is a recommended for this plane, so as with the star. So we're gonna go ahead and select 20. And that should give you your cost index of 20. Otherwise, if you can always keep it on auto, and it will just give you what it feels is right for this route. Optional entries, again, this is all based on the real world weather. So it gives you scheduled flight time, departure runway, arrival runway. It's all based on the weather. You can choose to change that. I don't see a reason why you would, unless you wanted to land like on a 25 right, for example, instead of 25 left. But that is what it is. Taxi out, taxi in. Now if you are going to be flying an event on WATSIM or things like that, you can choose to carry extra fuel, just in case if you want to go ahead and carry fuel for holding, things like that. So that is good. Before I do that, you also need to choose the date and the departure time. Now this is based so that Simbrief requires this so that it can base its calculations for the route and your fuel and things like that based on the actual weather when you're actually going to depart. Now coming up to ARAC cycle. Now if you do not have Navigraph, then you may have an outdated ARAC cycle, but that shouldn't be a problem. And if you have Navigraph, you can always go ahead and unlock the latest database and you should be good with that. Nothing to worry if you have an outdated ARAC, you will still reach your destination, so don't worry about that. Now this one gives you routes, and it actually tells you suggested routes based on real-world flight plans. So it actually tracks different flight plans and gives you the most recommended routes. So if you select this one, we have this is the one. It says it's valid for this ARAC, that's the distance, and that's the percentage. So the percentage that it shows is if you were to fly direct from point A to point B, the distance would be slightly less instead of, but you're actually here flying waypoints and departures and arrivals, so it actually shows you that it is plus 0.8% more than the direct distance. So now if you choose another one, this route is slightly longer, and it's like 3% more. So you play around with it, pick what you like, and that should be good. Route Finder, it's not something that I use. Historical weather, if you have Active Sky, you can link your Active Sky to it, and then it will base your flight plan based on that weather instead of the weather that you chose or the time that you chose here. Next, you can also do multiple alternate airports. You can add alternate 2 airports and things like that, and you can pick whatever you like. But with that being said, if you want to see how this routing would look like for you, you can just go and click SkyVector, and it will actually show you the entire route. If you zoom in, it will show you how the routing is going to go based on these waypoints from your departure to destination. But that is, again, if you want to check it out. But once all this is done, you can go ahead and generate OFP, which stands for Operational Flight Plan. It will take some time, about a few seconds, and it should give you your briefing package. There you go. So now you're here, you get all your information, the airline, flight number, aircraft, all those important things. You get your fuel, you get your in the air time, you get your zero fuel weight and things like that. And then you get your routing, and then again on this map you can see actually what it is. Now if you scroll down further, you can see this Operational Flight Plan, OFP, and you can also go ahead up here and click Print View PDF, and you'll get it all in the PDF format. I'll be making another video where I actually show how to read this flight plan and how to use it in your simulator. But coming back to this, you can also go ahead and download multiple formats of the flight plan to put it into your company route folder for the desired airplane, like Aerosoft Airbus if you're in P3D, the flight factors in X-plane. You got your flight simulator 2020 default .pln plan, and Yard Design Airbus and X-plane 11 default FMS, and a lot of other things. If you scroll further down, you can also see you can pre-file your flight plan on online networks like WATSIM, IVAO, Pilot Edge, Postcon, etc. But once you have this, you're pretty much good to go. I'll be making another video about how to download these flight plans for your specific planes as well using the Simbrief downloader, so be on the lookout for that. But this is gonna be it for today's stream, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more such content like this. Until then, take care, stay safe everyone, see you next time.